Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Glenn here again for another video that I'm modifying this 1.8 Nitro to electric buggy build. Now, a lot has changed probably since the last time you've seen it. I've done a lot of behind the scenes sort of work just to try to, button up a few things and get it as close as possible on how I want it to look. But in saying that, I've made this little section on top of here. I've put a bit of that clear perspex still there so the wires can't fall into there. I'm thinking about putting another one of these. They're like a fuel clip that are on the fuel tanks. Thinking about putting another one just at the bottom here, just so I can run this wire. I'll move my hand from here and run it over to here. Just so that it's way out of the way of this bloody gear, because the last thing I want is to run it and get chewed up, meshed up in that. So, but that's the idea of that. I'm thinking about putting the ESC down the bottom here. That's why I've got this sort of a setup here. That's why it's there. I'm not sure if I changed these last time, these shocks or not, but I've just put these shocks back on. They're pretty good. The only reason I put them back on is because those red and blue ones just weren't long enough. And yeah, my dog bones were slowly binding up, so I just thought I'd get rid of it altogether and sort that issue out. So as you can see, I've done my aerial just here. All that there is, I just made this out of a servo arm. Just trimmed her up and yeah, worked her in there, made the hole slightly bigger so then the aerial fit in there. I'm just going to glue that in on top and that should be done within the next video, and then all that's there is done. Now, within saying that, I received the body today. I know it's not for this buggy. I know it's not a HSP body, but I just liked how it looked. So that's why I picked it and I made it fit. So what I had to do to make it fit though, is if you can see in this rear, right, this arm there, see all the little washers in between? What I had to do was just extend that out a little bit because it was just that little bit too short instead of putting multiple holes in it. All I've done was just put a longer screw on the back of it and yeah, and tightened her up, and that's not going anywhere. But you can see that the little arm at the bottom isn't going through the hole, which I'm not too worried about at the moment, only because that there's that tight that I don't think it's going to go anywhere. On the front also, don't know if you can see that. I'll grab this here. Right there, I think it's 3 or 4 washers under there. I had to lift this up. It was just too low and it wasn't sitting properly. So I'll show you the shell. That's the shell I went with. As you can see, I've just plumbed up that hole there. As you can see, with a bit of perspex just there, or I used the stuff, when you cut your shell out and all that type of stuff, I just used the excess of that. I'd always keep that spare. It already came with a hole here, which I'm not too worried about for the antenna. The antenna's going through here, so I've cut that out. So now it should just sit like that. I'm gonna make sure it fits around the whole bottom of this, so hopefully I'll get used to being in that there, and that will push down in there like that. Don't know if I'm going to keep the nose of it here on. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep that on or not. It's just, I don't know, it's a bit annoying. I would like just to lop it off right there, and then I'll just push that on and I don't have to worry about the nose, but that's something I'll sort out down the track. As you can see, I'm just pushing that down like that. See how it's, that could go a lot higher, but I'll just push it down and I'll just put the clip. The pinion should be able to hold it into place. And then as you can see from the back there, that lines up fine as well. I don't really want to put too much pressure just on the front of this just yet until that there dries. I only just put that on there, so I want that to dry properly. And I've actually filled that up to here because what I'm going to do, got some black nail polish. It's nothing special, it's just the real cheap stuff. I'm just going to put a little bit of dab of black nail polish where the white is, and hopefully you'll notice it, but hopefully it's not going to be that noticeable at the end of the day. Within saying that, for me to line up where this hole is, all I did was I kept my good aerial, right, I put that aside. I used this small one here, if you can see that. So all I did was, if you can see, I'll turn this around. All I did was just set that in here, like that. You can see that there. So I just set that in here. I'll move this shell. Got too much crap everywhere. Alrighty. So I've just set, oh, I need the shell anyway. So I just set that there like this, but I put a little bit of that black nail polish on the very tip of that, on the very tip of it. Just put a little bit of black nail polish on there. Then all I did was I lined up the back and I ran my hands all the way around the outside just to make sure it's all gonna flare out and fit. Oh, come on. So it went all the way around like this, so it all fit like that. Once that lined up there, you can see it poking through here. Right there. So all that's lined up, even my front is lined up there, and then that there, with the black dot on there of that nail polish, will mark the inside of this shell. So then I've just taken off the shell, and right here, right where the center was a black dot. So I just used my my rimming tool, or my hole maker, and just put in there and just made the hole to whatever size I want it to be. I'm probably going to make it a little bit bigger, the hole. I'm not too sure. I've got to wait till all this is sorted out, and I've got to worry. I'm just wondering if I should keep this nose bit on there. If I don't, well then it shouldn't be too hard just to line up the aerial and just sit it straight on. The aerial should come straight out through there, but we'll soon sort that out when we get to that part. So yeah, as I was saying, I've done a fair bit. I've cut the aerial to size. I put a few extra rubbers on there because what I like to do is when the receiver wire goes through here, I like to tuck it into this part as well, into the second part. It tucks into there, and then this part here goes in overall. And then this little bottom red bit just stops all that from moving down. That's all I was doing it for, only due because I'm sick of always putting the shell on. Every time you take the shell off, you always bend that bloody wire, the plastic back up again. And last thing I want to do is break a bit of that plastic off, and you're not going to have nowhere near as far range, and then your car will do whatever it wants to do. Take off whichever direction. So this is just another quick movie or video about what I'm doing, where I'm up to. Hopefully within the next few weeks, I'm hoping, or next week at least, I'm hoping I'm going to have the wheels for this year. I've ordered some wheels, Louise wheels. They should have been here a few days ago, but during this COVID, lockdown and all that, probably take a little bit longer. But then saying that, I want to buy the motor and ESC for this soon too, and buy the battery. I've got gearing already, got a couple. I just want to see which one I want to run with. I don't know if this one here is going to be fine or not, or this one here, I'm not too sure. Yeah, I just want to find out because this black one's a bit grippier, so I'm not sure if I don't know if it's going to bind up with the center, but I won't know until I have the motor fitted, so I can fit this gear and push it and see if it does bind up, see if it doesn't. Do my gap setting and all that type of thing from my spur to my pinion. So, within saying that, that is my new, I'm not sure if I've told you about this, but that is my new spur gear in there now. What I had to do was, the Nitro cups are bigger than the electric cups. These cups here are bigger than the electric, and the dog bones are thicker than the electric dog bones on a Nitro. So what I had to do was rebuild the center diff, like as you've seen on my previous movies or videos. Just go back and check it out. All I had to do was take the old cups off, or the new cups off the new diff, and I swapped them over with the older cups because they've got a thicker dog bone. Don't mind the thicker dog bone. It might not want to vibrate as much, hopefully. So, but within saying that, this is where I'm up to at the moment. This is this is turning out pretty good actually. Very happy with how it's setting up and how it's looking. Hopefully, you know, in the next probably couple more videos, we should have this going. Should be on the road, hopefully. Doing some test runs and some tuning and all that type of stuff as well. Figure out what I'm going to run my shocks and all that type of stuff. So, yeah. Alright. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. If you know anyone that's into this type of stuff or been wanting to convert a cheaper way from nitro to electric, please tell them to watch it. If anyone's got any questions, I'll try to answer as best I can. If you have any advice, please go ahead and let me know. More advice, the better off for me anyway, because I wouldn't mind, you know, there might be tricks and stuff that people have already done and maybe a better setup for this top section here. I'm not sure. But yeah, like I said, give us a message if you have any ideas or if you need any questions answered. I'll try to answer it best I can. But all this build is just a basic build. I am not, like I said, I'm not spending a fortune on this buggy at all. The only thing I've bought so far is that gear and my shell and the wheels. Sorry, the wheels are still coming though. And the motor, ESC, and battery. They're the ones that that's what I need to buy, and that's it. I had this motor mount sitting there. I think I paid $20 for this mount here, the adjustable mount. But I've had it sitting in my parts for the last, you know, couple of years. So I'm not gonna say that I bought it for this build, but it's there, so I didn't spend that extra money. But yeah, no worries. Like I said, subscribe, like, smash the bell button, stay notified, and we will talk when I'm back on again. No worries. Ciao.